I was vegetarian about 3-4 months. I had no strength and I thought something is wrong. And I remember I started eating meat and the very next day I felt strength back. Me and my friend tried challenge 1 month of carnivore. I really enjoyed it. We had great results. I wanted to compete as a carnivore. I remember Dr. Chaffee said, try to compete on empty stomach. And that's what I did. Veggies is just paper. Do nothing for you. Not nutritious at all. The most nutritious part is meat. People, please try. Yeah, don't judge it when you didn't try it. Try it. You will feel something different which you never experienced. Because if you're gonna do carnivore long enough, you can achieve so many things in just 1 year, which you didn't achieve for 5 years.
Okay, welcome. We have with us, I guess, Russ, as you prefer to be called. You said of Kazakhstan birth, and now you're here in Australia. First of all, what are you doing in Australia, by the way? Have you lived there for a long time, or are you just visiting, or what's the story on that?
Hi, Dr. Baker. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm from Kazakhstan. I was born in Kazakhstan, but the last 5 years I live in Australia. I was going in 2019 to study, and since then, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, right now working, training, just enjoying life.
Very good. Well, awesome. Well, it's good to have you here. My understanding is you have somewhat of a success story you want to share to us. So I guess maybe give us a little background on you. How did you grow up? Did you have some kind of problems? And I guess we'll just talk about how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, I didn't have any particular problems or health issues, but I was interested in sport in general, like from the early time. From the school, from 15, 16 years old, I started to train. I was interested in nutrition, try to understand, like even at school, I was taking lunch boxes with me, like eating 5-6 times per day and so on. And I was interested in dieting. I tried intermittent fasting and I think all types of fasting. Even I was vegetarian about 3-4 months, but I noticed that my cardio and endurance was on high level, but I had no strength. And I remember I was doing CrossFit. I did the wall balls, if you know the exercise, and I didn't feel strength in my legs. And I thought something is wrong. And I remember I started eating meat and the very next day I felt strength back in my legs. Yeah. And it was like very funny for me. I understood I gotta eat meat. Yeah, for sure. And then around 2-3 years ago here in Australia, me and my friend, we tried a challenge 1 month of carnivore. We did it together. I really enjoyed it. I didn't want to lose weight or something else, just wanted to do it as a challenge. But we had great results, like in the mood. I got in a very good physical shape and it was very knowledgeable experience for me. And then after like last year, I did 110 days of carnivore from May till middle of August. And yeah, it opened eyes for me. I really enjoyed it, had so many benefits. I did it with my friends because I shared this information in my Instagram and I asked, hey guys, who wants to join us? I'm going to do 1 month challenge. Around 8-10 people joined. We did 1 month and then I just kept going. Yeah, I really liked it and enjoyed it.
Okay. And yeah, you mentioned the wall balls in CrossFit, which obviously you felt sick without enough meat for energy. Let me go back to your background. Growing up in Kazakhstan, what kind of diet would be traditional, or what would you grow up on there? Was there a lot of meat in Kazakhstan, or was it more a plant-based diet, or what's the typical food there?
When I was growing, yeah, right now they eat a lot of meat, but back then I wasn't like from the rich family and sometimes we struggled to buy a lot of meat and we had many, I would say, more carbs in our diet. But right now, like in Kazakhstan, yeah, people eat a lot of meat, but they also eat a lot of carbs, a lot of bread stuff. And after that, everything, they like to eat some desserts. That's why even Kazakhs eat a lot of meat and people think that the diet's supposed to be healthy, but then we eat a lot of like the wrong stuff with what we shouldn't eat. But usually, yeah, a lot of meat because we have a tradition in the winter months before December, like in November, we slaughter cow or horse for the family and put it in the freezer so we keep going, yeah, through the winter till summer again, yeah.
Interesting, because you mentioned horse, because most Westerners, or I guess parts of Europe, the horse is fairly common. But how common is it for horse meat to be consumed there? Is it?
It's very common, very common. Every Kazakh family eats horse weekly for sure. I think once, twice. It's very common. Our national food, beshparmak, which is particularly bread and meat. The very original version is with horse meat. Yeah, everyone loves it.
Horse is my understanding, because I've yet to have that, but horse, my understanding, is fairly lean. Is that fair to say?
There are some lean parts, because people think, it's diet meat, bodybuilders likes to eat it, because it's lean, but there are some parts pretty fatty. But overall, I think cow is more fatty than the horse, right?
Yeah, I would probably imagine that to be the case, and like I said, I've not had a horse at this point. So you said you did it as a challenge and you felt pretty good. How has it impacted you? I guess are you still pursuing things like CrossFit and things like that?
I'm doing jiu-jitsu. I know you're doing jiu-jitsu as well, Dr. Baker. And I noticed that when I was training, I don't get sore. And that's why I kept going. I felt awesome. And by that time, last year when I was 100 and more days on carnivore, that was the best physical shape in my life. But I'm athlete myself. I train always. But even that time last year, I achieved the best physical shape in all my life. I was 91 kilo, no fat at all, super athletic shape, endurance, strength, everything was on top level. I really enjoyed it. I have nothing bad to say about carnivore, but the only two things I can say, negative parts, it's social life with carnivore. Hard, but you get used to it. Your friends, when doing barbecue, they do just clean meat for you. And the other part, which was, I would say, negative for me, it's you're just bored because you are not entertained by food. Right now, a lot of people use food like entertainment to get emotions, to get dopamine, endorphins. That's all. That's the two parts about carnivore. Everything else is awesome about carnivore. I really loved it. I really enjoy it. And even right now, I'm not afraid, because before I was afraid, I don't have carbs in my diet. I wouldn't have energy to train. But right now, I eat 6 eggs before training. Good to go. Or 500 grams of ground beef. Good to go. I don't care about veggies right now. And if I want some carbs, I understand. I just eat it as a drug. I'm going to be open. It's drug. I'm addictive. I'm going to treat myself. That's it. There is no particular value in this food at all.
Okay. And you said you're doing jiu-jitsu. Obviously, for anybody that's participated, they knows there's a lot of energy. You can put out a lot of energy doing jiu-jitsu. How has that, your performance, and how far along, or how long have you progressed into the jiu-jitsu? What, are you doing mostly no, or what's your level?
I'm doing both gi and no gi. I'm a purple belt. I'm around 2 years ago, I won Australian nationals in gi and no gi as a blue belt. And I was interested. I wanted to compete as a carnivore. And after 2.5 months, I competed. It was very interesting. Hey, Russ, I said to myself, let's try to compete. And it was awesome experience because I wasn't nervous at all. I didn't need to make weight because I was lean and in shape already. And I remember Dr. Chaffee said that before any competition, don't eat anything. Try to compete on empty stomach. And that's what I did. Before I was eating something, refueling myself, carbs, get nervous, get anxious. But on carnivore, the mood was stable, steady, awesome. Not nervous at all, not anxiety. Don't need to think about energy. Cause I thought if Dr. Chaffee, rugby player, did it, I will be all right because my match, they were at lunchtime, And it was awesome experience. I won both gi and no gi, pretty easy, all with submissions. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And in jiu-jitsu training in particular, after hard rolls, you get very sore. But on carnivore, you just recover like Wolverine, like straight away, 24/7, just done. Again, you can go to gym or to jiu-jitsu again. I loved it because I was doing six sessions per week myself. Pretty active.
So one thing that a lot of people don't appreciate or may not appreciate as much is perhaps some level of mental clarity, maybe a greater ability to concentrate in jiu-jitsu? There's a lot of obviously decision making that occurs because you have to respond very quickly to different threats and different sort of opponents. Did you find it helped you with your ability to focus? And you mentioned you're very calm, and that also is important. How did it affect you mentally?
Yeah, you're very calm. You analyze things very quickly. You don't have messy thoughts in your head. And I love the feeling on Carnivore particularly. I don't know. I think you can relate. You feel yourself like a warrior, like a Spartan warrior. You are ready to do anything at any time. Before, it has to be like many situations come together so I can have a good training. I gotta sleep well. I gotta eat well before training. I gotta rest and then go, and maybe I will have a good training. On Carnivore, doesn't matter. I slept 2-3 hours. Tired, not tired, you show up, you feel amazing. Yeah, you have energy. And I noticed you recover between matches very quickly. You go straight away from one match to another, recovered like in seconds. Loved the experience.
When so you have competed at tournaments while doing Carnivore, is that correct?
Yeah, I did just one tournament, while doing Carnivore.
And I would assume several matches. You probably, 3, 4, 5 matches or something like that?
There were just 2 matches because, there were a lot of people. I was final, but anyway, it was like, for me, best experience, Okay, not anxiety, nothing, steady. And I like that I don't need to eat. On empty stomach, I did it. Awesome.
Do you find any of the people that you practice with, some of the training partners and stuff, are they familiar with you're doing Carnivore? Has any of those guys tried it at all?
Yeah, they are familiar. Many guys familiar. Like many jiu-jitsu guys in our gym, they just eat steak most of the times with a little bit of veggies on the side. And I was sharing my stories on Instagram, and everyone was like, "Hey, Russ, you're in very good shape. You're doing all right. What kind of diet is this?" And they tried to emulate it because I was eating particularly like ground beef and eggs twice per day. And that was it. And they asked, "Really, just ground beef and eggs? That's what you're doing?" I said, "Yes, no supplements, nothing." I said, "No, just this." Like they asked, "Are you on TRT?" I said, "No, guys, come on. I don't need this. Just ground beef and eggs there. They make miracle for sure."
I guess if you're just ground beef and eggs, which is obviously, that's fairly affordable, I assume, in Australia. That's not too bad, correct?
Sorry, could you ask it again, please?
The price of the food is affordable then.
The price is good. Ground beef is very affordable. And even sometimes when I wanted to try a different texture of the food, I bought a ribeye, maybe beef scotch fillet steak on the side. But I noticed it. No difference in quality. Ground beef is very good for you. Good fuel.
Do you find that, you said you were 91 kilos or something along those lines. I don't know if that's competition. I can't remember what the weight classes are. How much do you have to eat? How often do you eat? How much do you eat?
I just ate twice per day. And usually it was 5 gram of ground beef plus 6 eggs. I mix it. And just twice per day. Sometimes if I wanted like different texture, as I said, I bought a ribeye and 6 eggs as well, or beef scotch fillet, 6 eggs. Usually they come together.
Okay. And as far as, what about things like hydration, electrolytes? Do you salt? How do you supplement, or how do you deal with that?
I just salted my food, and I didn't supplement myself with electrolytes, but maybe I should do, because Dr. Baker on the 3rd month, I don't know what was that, why I fell off the wagon, because I didn't feel like falling off. I thought, I'm doing good, I'm doing great. But then one day, I don't know, I was just so bored or something, and I want cake. I don't know, maybe it was electrolyte deficiency in me, like asking and saying. I think, when I'm gonna do it again, I think I will include electrolytes, to see what's the difference. Because I was doing a lot of work and maybe I was a little bit deficient. I'm not sure.
When you say you're thinking about doing it again, so are you currently not pursuing a carnivore diet, or are you doing something else currently?
I'm doing carnivore meals. 1 meal, 2 meal, then 3rd meal I eat some meat and some carbs, some cheese, like as I said, just for pleasure, just to treat myself. But everyone is around me right now. My friend is on carnivore, doing on February. My other friend who is here, he did carnivore like around 1-2 months. Yeah, had incredible results. And we are around this diet. Yeah. Once you try it, I think you're always around. Yeah. And you eat outside of the meat and eggs just for pleasure. Yeah. Right now, we don't do any particular. We try to focus on meat, eggs, but if we want to treat ourselves, yeah, we cheat.
Yeah, so you basically, for the foundation of your diet is meat and eggs, and then occasionally you'll add something in.
Absolutely. That's the best food.
How do you find that it's easier to abstain from those other foods? Do you have a lot of cravings outside of that normally day to day, or does it help that in some way?
I think, Dr. Baker, that to be strict is 100% easier, really, because once you try it, it's a circle. You can go 3, 4, 5 days, and then again you're coming back, you're going back. Really, when you're strict, so much easier. You just need to keep doing this, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, and then cravings go away. But right now, cravings coming back for me, and I cheat. That's why. Being strict, as Dr. Chaffee says, I don't know, if you like for the strict, way better. Because I remember I was on the carnivore and I wanted to try to like add some spices. And I just added black pepper. I sprinkled a little bit of my food. It was so delicious. But the next 2-3 days, I got a blocked nose. And I had to put nasal drops here so I can breathe at night. Just after black pepper. It's interesting for me. Because your body became so sensitive. I was so sensitive to any other stuff. Yeah, it's incredible.
Have you been back to Kazakhstan since? Do you go back very often, or have you?
No, not really often. Yeah. I haven't been like there for a long time.
Do you still have relatives, parents, things like that in Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
Kazakhstan?
My father, my sister there. Yeah, my mother in Turkey. Yeah, I have relatives. Yeah, over there for sure.
Are they aware you doing a carnivore type thing, or is that?
Yeah. My sister is on carnivore right now.
Back in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, back in Kazakhstan. Yeah, she's doing carnivore. Yeah, I think right now 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the thought would be back home where you're from, when they might think you're strange.
Yeah,
or something like that.
People thought, you need carbs, you need veggies on your plate. But I was sharing, Dr. Baker, with my stories, with how I look, what I do, what I eat, what I train. And people noticed and were asking, a lot of people asking me, Ras, is it really possible? But what about carbs? You got to eat carbs. I said, guys, veggies, it's just paper. They take just space in your stomach. Yeah, do nothing for you, not nutritious at all. And right now people understand that the most nutritious part is meat, fats and proteins. I think many people right now lack enough amount of proteins and fats in their diet. Yeah, that's it. But people in Kazakhstan, get used to it. Yeah.
So you'd mentioned something about maybe social media. Do you have a social media account where you discuss the stuff on?
Yeah, I have Instagram, and in Instagram, I was posting like every my training session. I was posting a lot of meals. I was taking pictures like this is 60 days on meat only. This is 100 days. This is 90 days. Yeah, I was showing my progress. And yeah, for me, that was the best physical shape in my life. And Dr. Baker, it was so effortlessly. It was just additional part of it. I didn't get to this physical shape so easily. I was doing a lot of CrossFit back in the days, but it was so hard for me. I was always tired. I was doing a lot of sessions, and the physical shape were not as good as it was on carnivore. Yeah, that's incredible for me.
What was your Instagram account? Just out of curiosity, I don't think I've seen it before. What was it?
It's something like my name and Stan, Rustam Stan, RUSTAMSTAN, Rustam Stan.
So like Rustam with Kazakhstan added to it or something like that. Is that?
Yeah, Rustam Stan. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just found you over there. Yeah, looked like you got in pretty good shape there and doing the jiu-jitsu stuff. Are there any other? I don't know if you primarily post about stuff in English or Kazakhstan. What is the language? Kazakhstani, or what is it? How do you say that?
Kazakh language. Kazakh but I speak mostly Russian. Yeah.
Oh, you speak Russian. Okay. And are there people that speak Russian following you that sort of comment on Carnivore? I'd be interested to see how
they comment, they ask about it. Because I had even in WhatsApp, we had a group where we support each other, like Carnivore group. I was doing even on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I was doing like Carnivore vlog series over there, like sharing my experience. And many people from around the world who's Russian speaking, they ask, please add me to the group, add me to the group. I said, okay, we added people from Russia, from Kyrgyzstan, like from other parts. Yeah. So we can support each other. I think support, because on the first month, like I think on the week 3 or 4, I was struggling and I said, hey guys, maybe we should stop, maybe enough for us. And the one guy said, hey Russ, we're going to do 1 month challenge. We're going to finish it. I said, okay, yeah, keep going. Because support is very important in this style. And then after 1 month, yeah, I just kept going. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I had been to Kyrgyzstan as part of I went to Afghanistan as a surgeon one point. We stopped in Kyrgyzstan. So it's just, I guess, just a little bit south of Kazakhstan.
Yeah, right.
So that interesting, that whole area, it's part of the steppe. I mean, we call it like there's a Eurasian steppe where it used to be a lot of mammoths and hunting and that part of stuff. And I've seen some stuff where there's like a traditional Kazakhstan. People are very big. I saw some pictures of the very big guys dressed in Kazakhstan traditional gear, like furs and things like that. They were huge people. They were like 6'10" or something like that. Is there like a population of very big people in Kazakhstan?
No, not really. I think general population right now, average height maybe 170, 175. But there are some, like huge Kazakh people. I know what picture you're talking about. Yeah, there are some giants, in our nation as well.
Yeah, I wonder if they come from a particular region and if they have a particular way of eating that supports that. I wonder.
Yeah.
Is dairy very popular where you're from, like dairy products?
Yeah, very popular. Yeah, we have kumis. It's a milk of the horse, like the drink. Yeah, we have shubat. It's a milk of the camel. Yeah, we eat a lot of cottage cheese, which is not so popular like here in Australia, but we eat it a lot. And we do like many dishes with dairy, as well. So, it's very popular. Big part of our diet.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you've got Mongolia just touching Kazakhstan in a little corner there. And then I know they were very much into dairy and horse and things of that nature. So it's interesting. Kazakhstan's quite a big country, it looks like. How many people,
top 10.
How many people live there in Kazakhstan?
Right now it's around 20 million.
So it's pretty, even though it's big, there's not a lot of people relatively.
Yeah, density is pretty low. Yeah.
Probably similar to Australia. I think Australia is probably close to the same size and
same amount of people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned you felt good. Were there, outside of the social people like thinking you're strange when you go out to eat, were there any physical problems with the diet? Did you have any like gastrointestinal symptoms or tiredness or energy issues or anything like that?
No, I didn't really have, because I think my body is very sensitive and I'm switching like very quickly. In the first, I would say 5 or 6 days, I didn't have a stool. It just disappeared. Yeah. And on the 6th or 7th day, it's appear again. Yeah. That's interesting. That's for me. Like meat is so nutritious that it absorbs like almost 100%. That was for me like awesome. Then I remember on the week 2 or 3, I had like meat aversion. I didn't want to eat anything, but I thought if you don't want to eat, just don't eat. And I remember I was eating like sardines that day. I could eat like 3-4 sardines per day and that's it. But I still, Dr. Baker, I was training very hard, even no meat, nothing, just 3-4 sardines. And I was lasting like this, like 3-4 days. And then meat aversion went away. Yeah. And I was appetite came back, and I started eating again.
Okay. And just like you said, the traditional Kazakh diet is some kind of meat and some other, maybe, I don't know, potatoes or some starch probably perhaps added in there. Is meat stigmatized back home? Do they, like in the United States, we're all told, don't eat meat, particularly red meat, it's bad for you, it's going to give you heart. Do you get the same? Are you taught that where you're from?
No, we are like kind of vice versa. Everyone like, hey, you gotta eat meat. Yeah, it's good for your bones, good for your strength, for everything. If you don't eat meat, like people thinking like you're strange. Yeah. No, it's not really something common if you don't eat meat like in Kazakhstan. No, everyone gotta eat meat. Even like when we sit on the table and just drink some tea, because we like to drink tea, meat will be there on the table as a snack, as a sweets instead of sweets. Yeah, meat is always in our diet for sure.
Oh, maybe I'll have to visit one day. It would be
please go.
Fine for me. I remember there was a movie that came out called Everything is Illuminated, and I'm not sure where. I think it may have supposedly taken place in the Ukraine, but it was a guy who was a vegetarian visiting, and he was going to a restaurant and he was trying to order a vegetarian meal, and they just looked at him like he was crazy. It was like a comedy scene. I don't know if you've seen that, but I guess it might bear out. So it's safe to say that veganism, vegetarianism is not particularly popular in Kazakhstan.
It may be popular right now a little bit in the fitness community, because fitness community, they try everything and they promote everything. But in general, no, not really. Everyone understands that meat gotta be huge part of your diet, that meat is health. We came from the background where our ancestors only ate meat. They survived on meat. Why we shouldn't give up right now? There is no logic in it.
Yeah, I would agree. That makes sense to me too.
Yeah.
So as far as you obviously been doing jiu-jitsu, you did CrossFit. Do you think you could do CrossFit? Because some people say they can't. I think jiu-jitsu is probably can be just as hard as CrossFit, in some ways harder depending on how you go. But do you think you could do CrossFit with just meat?
I think jiu-jitsu is not as hard as CrossFit, like physically, because CrossFitters, for me, they superhumans, really. What they're doing is incredible for me. I think you can, because the example of the guy Ryan Talbot, who was on the podcast on Dr. Chaffee, he's decathlete, doing a lot of different sports. Right. He's showing in his example. And when I was competing and doing training in jiu-jitsu, Dr. Baker, I felt incredible. I didn't feel that I lacked some strength or something. I was same strength or even stronger, but even with the best endurance, the best recovery was for me. And it's a very important point that you recover between matches quickly, not like even you don't get sore in the match, you recover between switching. Because people like, oh, I'm done, I'm going to rest this match, and you just go on taking partner, and keep going. I think you can. You just need to be smart with it, maybe. Because every sport, if you're doing it on high level, you got to think. Maybe you need to add electrolytes, as you said, You just got to be smart. I think it can be advantage, like for Ryan Talbot right now. He's doing, I think, pretty well. And for me, when I was doing jiu-jitsu and competing on Carnivore, it was one step ahead of my opponents. That was like magic stick for me. I thought, I'm a bit higher with my diet.
Yeah. I interviewed Ryan here. Ryan's a decathlete at Michigan State and has done quite well on a carnivore diet. So and the decathlon is obviously. Some people say they're the best athletes in the Olympics because they have to do so many different sports, pole vaulting and sprinting and running and jumping and throwing and all the stuff that goes in with that. Growing up in Kazakhstan, are there any particular sports that are particularly popular? I know there's like weightlifting and things like that, but what are the big sports in Kazakhstan?
The big sports in Kazakhstan are weightlifting, as you said, judo, freestyle wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling. Right now, it's BJJ, very popular. All strength sports, pretty popular. But Olympic level, we can achieve like weightlifting, judo, freestyle wrestling. Right now, we're going there. We had our first world champion in freestyle wrestling this year.
Yeah, those are all hard sports, judo, wrestling. Those are all very challenging, demanding, tough sport to do those things. Did you? Is that part of the, when you're a kid, you get steered into those things, or is it part of the curriculum to wrestle and things like that, or what's it like growing up there?
It's not part of the curriculum, but I think every boy, every kid had like martial background. I went to karate, I went to hand fighting, sambo, and every boy did some kind of boxing, wrestling, or judo. Because it's Kazakhstan, it's like Russia. To survive, you gotta do something. I often see guys out in Russia
wrestling bears and the meme is they're super tough, and I guess there's some truth to that. So that's very interesting. Is there a large Kazakh community within Australia? Is there a group there?
In Brisbane, yeah, we're around people who we have close connection, around 20, 30 people in Brisbane. Yeah, it's not very big, yeah, but we know each other. Yeah, we have a meeting almost every weekend. Yeah, so we're good, we're friends.
Okay, and Brisbane is up in part of Queensland? I think is that
yeah,
right?
It's Queensland,
okay.
Right in Queensland. Yeah.
Okay, so you're on the coast too. So you get out you do water surfing and all that stuff. That would be popular there.
We do go sometimes to the ocean, but no, mostly we focus on work, training. Yeah, and weekends we can go like once per weekend. Yeah, to go to the ocean or to the waterfall. Yeah. But sometimes, yeah, we just work, train, yeah, and meet each other and eat some good food. That's it.
What kind of work do you do, by the way, if you don't mind sharing that?
I work right now in commercial cleaning. We clean commercial public parks.
So outside then a lot. You're outside with that then?
Yeah, but I work at night, Dr. Baker. Yeah, so for me it's good. Yeah, the sun doesn't kill me. Yeah, I'm doing my work at night, and by early morning, yeah, I'm done. That's good.
Okay, so you do a night. So that's interesting because you're up all night. I presume you work at night all night long, and so you have backwards hours.
Yeah, because I can start a bit later, like around 4 a.m. I prefer, like, streets are empty, there is no traffic, no people, and the cool weather. That's why I start at midnight. I wake up at midnight and go straight to work. Once I finish my work around 7, 8 a.m., I have a little bit of food, and then 11 a.m. I have a jiu-jitsu training. I go to jiu-jitsu.
And then soon to bed after that, I would assume.
Yeah, 4 p.m. I'm going to bed.
Okay, interesting. Because a lot of times when people work nights, it's problematic for them. They have a hard time with just adjusting to that. Did that take you a long time to get used to?
I would say no. Yeah, I'm pretty flexible with this. It just works for me. There are like many more benefits for me to wake up so early. So I skip all the traffic, skip all the busyness in the parks. Yeah. Doing my work pretty quick, and I'm free.
Okay. And I guess, do you go from that to the weekend where you're not working maybe and have different hours, or do you just keep those hours consistent?
Yeah, on the working days, I wake up at midnight, but then I'm slightly a little bit later go to bed, like around 8 p.m. And on the weekends, I wake up at 4 a.m. I put alarm clock 4 a.m. And even on Sunday, when I go to bed around 4, 5 p.m., then I wake up at midnight easily. Yeah, like going back, yeah. Okay. No, not a huge disturbance for me. It's pretty okay.
Okay, interesting. And how do you arrange your meals? You said you kind of work, you have a meal, because it's obviously maybe if you get up at midnight, are you eating right then at midnight for breakfast?
I don't do anything. I wake up, I drink some sparkling water, and go straight away to work. And if the work is busy and I'm finishing around 10 a.m., I go back home, take shower, and go straight to training. Don't even eat. But if I have like enough time, I throw some eggs with cheese, yeah, have some coffee, and yeah, then go to jiu-jitsu.
Okay, so you most of that you're not many calories, so I guess the biggest meal of the day is after jiu-jitsu before you're ready to go to bed? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense in a way. Do you find, what about protein and fat? Do you concern yourself with eating more fat or more protein, or how does that typically work for you?
I remember Dr. Chaffee said that you can see your fat and protein ratio by your stool, right? If it's soft, there is enough fat. And my stool was okay, and I didn't concern a lot about it. I just throw some butter, ground beef, and eggs. Yeah, I didn't check, honestly. Yeah, I was feeling all right. Didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, sometimes it's just very simple, and it's not a lot of problems with that. You mentioned butter, and we talked about Kazakhstan with the dairy products. Are you consuming much in the way of dairy products typically?
Cheese, yeah, I eat cheese. Sometimes I buy kefir. Kefir is pretty good drink. But particularly, that's it. Cottage cheese, I don't eat it here because I think there is much artificial stuff here in Australia. Back home, yeah, cottage cheese was like a big part of my diet. I was eating like almost every day, but here, no. Cheese and sometimes kefir, not often.
And how do you find in Australia much resistance? We mentioned Kazakhstan, and it's obviously not a lot of people there probably know of this, but how popular has carnivore gotten in Australia in your experience? Have you ran into a lot of just general carnivore people there?
It's pretty popular, yeah, because I thought it's going to be something which people not aware of, but in my gym, like everyone is okay. Yeah, I'm doing carnivore as well. I'm doing carnivore like with fruits. I'm eating mostly steaks with veggies. Yeah, people pretty aware of it, yeah. And there are some friends here who's doing carnivore, yeah, in gym.
Yeah, Australia is a nation where they have a lot of cattle, they have a lot of sheep in particular. Do you consume much lamb, by the way? Because lamb is obviously very popular.
Lamb, yeah, we do. Because someone says that lamb is for sure doesn't have any hormones in it, right? That it grass fed always, almost always. It's clean. So we eat lamb as well. Yeah, I usually put it in a slow cooker or I do oven roast. I put it like 160 degree, throw in for 8-10 hours in the foil. That's it, done, yeah. So I eat sometimes, yeah, maybe twice per week.
Yeah, when I lived in New Zealand, I went there to play rugby for many years ago when I was a lot younger, and I had a lot of lamb there. It was like every time I got invited to somebody's house, they always had the same dish. It was lamb with something called kumara, which is kind of like a sweet potato. And what about it back in Kazakhstan? Is lamb popular? Did you have many sheep in Kazakhstan as well?
Yeah, very popular. Yeah, sheep is very popular because like any occasion, it may be wedding, it may be birthday or something other occasion. We usually slaughter one sheep and making big table, a lot of national dishes by it, and then enjoy the food. So yeah, very popular. A lot of sheep over there in Kazakhstan.
What would be like if you were to visit Kazakhstan? What would be a very popular, maybe carnivore type dish that somebody would want to order when they were there?
Carnivore type of dish, it's, I don't know, maybe steak or shashlik. Shashlik, which is like kebab. Kebab, just part shashlik from lamb, shashlik from beef, or even like we have a lot of popular dishes like horse steak. It's very delicious. Yeah, you can try that one. But usually all our national foods, Dr. Baker, it's bread and meat, yeah. That's why people thinking like, why, like Russ, you eat so much meat if you think meat is superfood. Why Kazakhs like sick as well? Why people are sick, but they eat a lot of meat? Yeah, they eat a lot of meat. They eat a lot of bread, a lot of cakes after, a lot of sugary stuff in their diet.
Yeah, it's interesting because, we'll see that it maybe the combination. And when you're consuming all these carbohydrates in the form of breads and cakes and things like that, and then you add meat on top of that, may be the problem. And you eliminate one or the other. Some people think they need to remove the meat, and other people say maybe we just remove all the breads and things like that. Yeah. And that may be the better solution in many cases. What are your plans at this point? And you've obviously, is this something you think you'll continue with, or I know it was an experiment, you felt good. Are you going to continue with jiu-jitsu? You're going to try to get your black belt? You're going to continue to compete, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, yeah. I wanted to try to apply for sport visa athlete because right now I'm working visa, which expires. Yeah, I wanted to try. Yeah, I will see how it goes. Maybe I will go to compete somewhere internationally. But for sure, I'm going to keep doing jiu-jitsu. I want my black belt as well. And with the diet, I will keep trying, never give up. Because Dr. Baker, I think for people who has some health issues, it's easier to follow the diet because when they go to the carbs and sugar, they feel very bad, worse than they were before, and they go back to carnivore pretty easily. But I'm pretty healthy individual. Right now I can tolerate, sweets and all this stuff. And that's why even I understand that's the best diet for me. But it's very hard. I understand I'm a drug addict, to sugar. And sometimes, I have sweets here and there, But this gave me so much experience in understanding of nutrition. I don't need to glycogen with carbs, so I can have energy. I understand right now that the cleanest energy which I can have will be from eggs, from meat. If I don't mix them with anything just by itself, Dr. Baker, I feel so much better. Even I put a piece of bread with it or piece of rice on the side. No, get sore, get stuck. I got stiffness after it. I remember I started carnivore diet because I was doing a lot of training, like 6-7 days per week. And I ate a lot of sugar, Dr. Baker. When I went to sleep, I couldn't extend my arms. They were so sore, and I understood it's sugar. Ras, you gotta give up. I started carnivore straight away. On the second day, flexibility got back. Everything like in the oil, proper flexibility. I understand everything bad comes from carbs and sugar. All your puffiness on the face. When you're on carnivore, your face is so straight. Even you look at yourself in the mirror, it's like different person. Your face is more appealing to you, like how it's supposed to be. You think, oh, is it you or not? Something interesting in your appearance.
Yeah, so you have maybe less overall swelling and inflammation with at least in your case. That's good. I know it's the same with me, and whether it's generalizable to everybody's hard to say, but certainly it's fun to experiment with that. You said you'd want a national championship or a national title as a blue belt. Are you competing for that as a purple belt now? Is that the next step? You have another like national championship coming?
I just got my purple belt, and I didn't compete as a purple belt, but I will for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna choose my schedule and do some competitions for sure.
What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite submission sequence, or how do you like to play?
Before, like my Australian title, I won. There were 4 matches, 2 in gi, 2 in the no gi. I won all of them with submission, straight ankle lock. All of them. 1 minute, bam, ankle lock. But right now I try to more take the back and choke. I love choking from the back because it's total control, total domination, everything under control, no random moves. That's it.
Okay, so you get on people's back. That's what happens to me because I'm a pretty big guy, and usually when I go, the only way a lot of times smaller guys get me, if they can get my back, then they can do it. So I've got a long ways to go. I'm an old guy, so I'm still learning here. So anyway, I'll tell you what, is there anything else you want to share that we didn't get to chat with? Because we're coming towards the end of the time. Anything else you didn't get to discuss?
I just want to say that people, please try. Don't judge it when you didn't try it. You will feel something different, which you never experienced. Because Dr. Baker, I thought, Ras, if you're going to do carnivore like long enough, you can achieve so many things in just 1 year, which you didn't achieve for 5 years. Because it's like it fastens your time. You have so much time. If you don't have time, try carnivore 1 month. You will see how much time you have. You don't waste time on shopping, on cooking. You have so many free time to do stuff. And I understood that by eating something sugary or bread stuff, you don't do the stuff where you have to extract, enjoy from. Because we switch it. Instead of going out with friends, do some physical activity, like talk to girls, like engage in conversation and take endorphins, dopamines from there, you just ate ice cream. No, not gonna do anything. Done. Really, it opens up like portal of energy in you. I recommend everyone, please try it for every professional athlete. If you struggle right now, try it. Maybe it will open like new chapter of your career. That's what I wanted to say. And I wanted to say very big thank you, Dr. Baker, to you, to Dr. Chefi, because you are special for me because you're not just theoretical, you are practical. You show in your class, you are athletes yourself. And you, even at your age, you're doing stuff which is for 25 years old person, it's elite high level. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Anyway, Rustam, it's Rustamstan, right? Rustamstan is where you are on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Enjoy. Have a good day. Thanks for coming on. And I look good luck on the Purple Belt Championships. Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Baker. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.